Hi everyone, me and Ken are going to talk to you today about parliamentary and presidential government and differences between them. We'll also evaluate the relative strength of their legislatures and their executives. Thanks guys.
The first point of difference is that in parliamentary governments there's a cabinet, whereas in presidential governments there is a president.
Cabinet.
Therefore, in parliamentary governments the cabinet makes decisions as a group, whereas in presidential governments the president is the sole leader, so makes all decisions himself. Therefore, in conclusion, parliamentary government is better in this aspect because there are more brains. Therefore, the decisions are more likely to be better.
The second difference is that in parliamentary government there's a fusion of powers between government and parliament. And parliament voted in by the electorate. However, in presidential government there's a separation of powers. This means that the executive, judiciary and legislature are entirely separate but constrained by checks and balances. This also means that in parliament things go in, government ministers are MPs, which means that they're also in parliament as well as government. 2, ministers are responsible and accountable to parliament. And 3, government must get its laws through parliament if it wants to be able to pass them. So yeah, that's basically it guys. Thanks for watching!
The third point of difference is that in parliamentary government there's an overlap of personnel. This means that the MPs are in government and also form the legislature, whereas in presidential governments they are separate. For example, the Senate.
Another small point of difference, which isn't as valid anymore. There used to be a difference in elections. It used to be that in parliamentary systems they were flexible, so the Prime Minister could call an election whenever he wanted to. However, recently that's changed so that they happen every 5 years, the same as in presidential government. This can make it best for the parliamentary government because it means they can call elections whenever they want. It's more flexible and it means that, you know, it works better. The president has all the power, so in this case it would be Obama, as in the prime ministerial thingy. The Queen has all the power, however, Cameron and then Cameron has all the power. Cameron has all the power instead because she doesn't actually use it.
In presidential governments, the people directly elect the cabinet, whereas in parliamentary governments, the Prime Minister chooses his cabinet. Therefore, the cabinet is only indirectly elected by the peoples. Therefore, this represents a merging of the executive and the cabinet.
In prime ministerial government, the 3 are merged, and one of the weaknesses of this is that the legislature can remove David Cameron if he needs to support the Commons. However, in presidential, because the 3 are separate, the legislature cannot remove Barack Obama from his presidential spot. So that's what the weakness is.
Now I'm going to talk about legislature. In the UK, it could be said that laws go through parliaments rather than by government. Therefore, this kind of gives a suggestion of an elected dictatorship. However, in parliamentary governments, there's a separation of powers. Therefore, the legislature is independent, and so they're under no pressure from the president. And so it can't be called an elected dictatorship, so they can make decisions quickly and faster. Therefore, it's better in presidential governments.
Finally, we're going to go over the executive. In the UK, the executive is merged because of the Prime Minister having his cabinet as the leader of the country, which means they control the legislatures as well, which is the merging. However, in the US, the executive is just as Barack Obama as the president. He is a sole executive. We think it's stronger in the UK because that allows them more decision making and it wouldn't take as much. We don't think it would take too much more time, so it would be much better.
So, in conclusion, we feel that parliamentary governments are better and more effective because of the merging. This is good because they can be more effective in passing through the laws and policies which they want to implement. Passing over to Ben now.
Thank you for watching this Ben and Ken performance.